Welcome everyone, Nancy here. Good to be with you once again here at the Minnetonka Senior Center to practice a bit of yoga with you. Again, many thanks to the senior staff here and the IT department here at the city who have set these sessions up so we can practice remotely and safely until we can be back together once again. Welcome, really good to have you with me. So we'll go ahead and begin. We always start in the seated mountain pose, so we want to be in front of the chair and just allow ourselves to lower down to the chair seat. Use the chair posture whenever you can, a good way to strengthen the lower body. So we stand tall. We have a contraction through the core. You want to pull the navel back toward the spine. The arms can go out and then in front. Taking a nice inhalation here. And then on your exhalation, slowly lower yourself down to the chair. And then release to that chair seat. Press your feet firmly into the floor, feeling your connection with the floor and ultimately to the earth beneath this building. We feel our connection on the chair seat, and then we grow the spine as long as we can, really lift up out of the waist by lifting the sternum and the crown of the head. And then we're just going to release the shoulders back and down and rest the hands on the lap. And then we close the eyes and again move inward, finding that place of peacefulness and calm within. By closing the eyes, we're just turning off any visual stimulation. We can just focus on some nice deep breathing here and allow the physical body to completely release and relax. We're just centering ourselves. We're letting go of the outside world now for about an hour or so. And we'll just focus on what we're doing and then what we're feeling as we're doing the different movements and the different postures. Really connect with your mind, your body, and your spirit as you practice here today. By letting go of the past and any thoughts about the future, we just bring ourselves present into the now, into this present moment. At the beginning of class, it's always nice to do an internal body scan, just checking yourself from head to toe and noting if there's any part of the body that could use a little bit extra life force energy or prana today. And then try to send a little extra energy to that part of the body. Now we'll just stay here breathing deeply and fully for a minute or so as we prepare for our practice today. And now we'll bring our awareness back to the room. We'll open the eyes. We'll keep the focus inward, though, on what we're doing and what we're feeling. We start as we usually do with our shoulder shrugs. So we're going to sit tall. We'll extend the fingertips down towards the floor and then just gently work the shoulders. Drawing the shoulders up towards your ears, squeeze your shoulder blades back behind you and come down and around. Up, back, down and around. Back at center now, we'll draw the shoulders up and come forward, down and around. Working out any kinks in the upper body here with these gentle movements. One more in this direction. And then we'll go in reverse again. This is to set the posture with the shoulders back and down. When practicing this during the course of the day, try to do 3 or 4 at least in in each direction. Very good. And then we'll turn the palms forward, our sun breaths, really connecting our breathing with our movement. Inhaling up, taking the gaze up if you'd like. On the exhalation, turn your palms outward and slowly bring those arms back down. Imagine that you're moving through a bit of resistance. Inhaling up, allowing those lungs to fill completely. Exhale down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Again, inhale up. This time, let's start working the hands. Just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your thumbs a little bit, starting to warm them up. Again, inhale up. This time we'll work the wrists, just gentle wrist rotations. Beautiful fluid movements. Palms forward, sweep those arms overhead. Now, this time bring the hands together in prayer position or namaste, and bring the hands down in front of the heart center. Now we'll inhale up and exhale out and around. Again, inhale up, exhale out and around. It can be a little more rounded movement if you choose. And one more here. And come back to center and release the hands back to the lap. And now we'll start working the neck. Try to keep your shoulders down, keep the neck nice and long. And then we're going to just tuck the chin toward the chest. Always remember to keep a little bit of space between your chin and your chest. With the shoulders down like this and the head forward, you should feel a nice stretch between the shoulder blades, the upper back and the back of the neck. And again, just think about breathing into those areas. Use the exhalation to release any tightness. And then with the head still tipped down, we're going to rotate the chin over toward our left shoulder. And we hold here and breathe. You can usually hold for 3 to 5 long breaths. When you're practicing on your own, hold a little bit longer if it feels good to you. And then draw the chin back to center. Inhale now as you look off to your right. Hold over here. Keep breathing. And then we draw the chin back to center. Now we'll start looking up and down. On the inhalation, scoop your chin forward and up. Try not to over-arc the back of the neck. And then on the exhalation, bring the chin back down. Again, inhale, scooping that chin forward and up. Exhale back down. And one more. Scoop the chin forward and up. Exhale back down. And then we draw the chin up so it is parallel to the floor, and then we'll look side to side here, going to the right side first. Inhale, just take your gaze off to your right. Hold here, keep breathing. Over time, with patience, see if you can get your gaze back over that shoulder, a little bit behind you. But do not force anything. If the neck is tight, just keep it wherever it wants to go for today. But again, over time, remember, yoga is a journey. You should be able to get the gaze back a little bit more. And then we'll come back to center. Inhale now as you look off to your left. Hold over here, keep breathing. And then bring yourself back to center. Next, we'll take the ears towards the shoulders. Again, really important to keep those shoulders down and the neck as long as you can. And we'll go to the right side first again. Inhale, up and over, right ear moving toward the right shoulder. You should feel a really nice stretch on the left side of the neck. Again, you have the option of adding the weight of the hand, the right hand on the head. And you don't want to torque the head off to the side, just a little bit of extra weight or a slight tug. and then you can release. Back at center now, lift up and over, left ear going toward the left shoulder. Again, if you'd like, you can place the left hand on the head now. Add just a little bit of weight. Just increasing that stretch a little bit. And then lift as you bring the head back to center. Next, we'll place the fingertips or the fingers at the base of the head. Your elbows are out to the side. Press your fingertips firmly into the back of the head and your head back into those fingers so we can strengthen the neck isometrically. And then we can release here and bring the heels of the hands to the eyebrow area and press in and press back. Releasing the left hand now, take the heel of the right hand above your right ear, press in and back, and then release. Take the heel of the left hand above the left ear and press in and back. And release. And then we'll move into our energizing work. Remember, you can stay on the chair. You can do a lot of the movements, cross-country ski, marching in place, climbing to heaven from the chair seat. So if today you feel a little wobbly, or if you'd rather stay seated, please do. Otherwise, come up to standing. Remember, for the last couple of years, they've been talking about sitting being the next smoking issue. So if you can get up and down from the chair several times during the day, walk around a little bit every hour, you're doing yourself a really good favor. Again, we're going to stand tall and mountain, again, grounded to the earth, but extending upward. And then we're just going to swing those arms and lift those legs, trying to get blood circulating to every part of the body here today. Again, this could be done holding onto a chair back, holding onto the kitchen counter. Just work a little bit of yoga into your everyday life. Come back to center, and then we do ragdoll, which is a yoga posture that's just meant to, again, shake the body, move the cells around, get everything moving. So you kind of gently tap the body as well. And then with no shoulder issues, you can take those arms overhead. Do whatever movement here feels good to you. And then a little more twisting and tapping. And then our cross-country ski movement, standing tall in mountain, one arm in front, one behind, just softly bend the knees and stretch out through the arms and through the sides of the body. And then cross over the midline. Come back to center. And come back to standing. And then we'll just step touch side to side and swing those arms. And then come back to center, and we'll do some body circles here. Bending the knees, taking the fingertips downward, sweep those arms off to the side, overhead and around. And try to get the hips in the movement here a bit. And then we'll go in the opposite direction as well. And then come back to standing. And then we're going to climb to heaven. Again, the ladder is in front of us, and we're reaching up for rungs and pulling ourselves up that ladder. And then we'll imagine a fruit tree in front of us. We're going to pick fruit here, reaching through, grasping, and pulling back. Add a little bit of a twist, too, if you'd like. We pick any fruit up that's fallen to the ground. Simple movements that can help us be more mobile during our day here. And then we'll come back to standing. And then we do body tapping. It seems very simple and it may not seem like it's the most important thing to do, but it stimulates the sebaceous glands, and it's also really good for the lymph glands and lymph nodes. So we extend the left arm out, tap down the top of it, and then up the inside. And then we'll go to the right. Then take the heels of the hands and gently tap around your head, waking up the brain. Fingertips to the crown of the head. Fingertips to your forehead. Just go up and down a few times. And then move around the eyes. Tap the temple area. We can hold tension in that area. And then tip the chin up just a bit and go up and down your cheeks. Go above your upper lip, across your chin, and then down your throat. And then fists to the upper chest, fists down the sides of your body, across the midriff area. And then open your palms up wide and go down the outside of the legs and come up the inside. And then take fists to the tailbone area and tap that area nicely. Again, when you get up from sitting, just tap this area, get the energy flowing in the lower spine. Move up through the small of the back until you can actually feel those lower ribs and give them a good tap. Kidneys and adrenal glands are in this area. And then we'll just release the shoulders back and down. Take another nice sun breath here. And then we'll do a nice standing twist. So standing in mountain, nice strong core. On an inhalation, just take your gaze and your right shoulder back. And then on your exhalation, draw yourself back to center. Inhaling to the left, exhaling back. Off to the right, and back to center. Off to the left, back to center, one more time to your right. Coming back, one more time to your left. And coming back, very good. And then we'll return to the chair and we'll use chair posture again. Utkatasana. Knees and toes tracking ahead, strong core, arms out, then in front. Nice deep inhalation here. And then as you exhale, slowly bring yourself down. Try to keep those knees tracking straight ahead. How slow can you go? See if you can do this several times a day at home. One of the better postures to strengthen your legs. Now we'll tone the upper body, okay? Sitting tall, releasing the fingertips downward, palms face behind you. Now press back into imaginary resistance behind you and feel how this opens up the heart center. Your shoulder blades are fairly close together. You're stretching the chest, strengthening the upper back and your arms, and we're breathing. And then draw the fingertips down and out in front of you. Reach away as much as you can to create space in the body. Working the wrists next, bringing the fingertips down, and then your palms parallel to the floor. And then press out through the heels of your hands, bringing those fingertips back as much as you possibly can. Palms parallel, fingertips down, palms parallel, and fingertips up again. Palms parallel to the floor. Work your hands from side to side. Cup your hands, spread your fingers, do a little bit of a twisting movement. And then we're going to imagine there's a beautiful scarf in front of us and we're going to pick it up with our fingertips and thumb tips. A lot of simple ways to work the body, work the hands here. and then just release. You can do a shoulder shrug here. Trying to keep these shoulders nice and healthy. Floating those arms out, we'll do some arm circles. The hands or fingers are pointed here as we begin. So just a few gentle circles forward, a few going in reverse. And then come back to center, make your fists come forward and go in reverse. Come back now and press out through the heels of your hands and come forward and go in reverse. And then just release those arms down. Do another shoulder shrug here. And then bring the hands up and just open and close. Again, try to get them nice and rosy or pink colored. Think of what these hands do for you every single day, so it's important to keep them healthy. We know as we age, we can lose some sensitivity in the hands, in the tips of the fingers and the thumbs. So anything you can do, squeezing a tennis ball, scissoring the fingers, working the thumbs back and forth across your palms, and then rotating the thumbs. And then we're just going to try to articulate through all the joints of the fingers and the thumbs, kind of like you're clawing at something. Spread those fingers wide. And then you can shake them out. You can do a few independent wrist circles here. And then let's join the hands together, interlacing the fingers, bringing the heels of the hands together, and gently working the wrists. Again, just simple circles to begin with, very effective. And then you can do that larger figure eight movement, again, working up the lower arms a bit more. And then whatever we do on one side, we want to do on the other, so we recross the fingers and work the wrists out again. And then we come back to center. Keep the fingers interlaced now, but turn your palms downward and again tug, creating space. And then we'll recross and tug again. And then bring your palms together in prayer position. Take an inhalation, drawing those hands up. See if you can bring the forearms together. Open to the sun, open to the sky. Exhale, hands come back together and down. Visualize a little seedling or a little sprout coming up through the earth and opening and feeling that beautiful sun. Exhale, hands together and down. And do one more, just follow your own breathing. Beautiful, and then we can just release the hands to the lap. And now we'll really start working the side body. So we'll hold on to the left side of the chair, float your right arm out here, turn the palm up, feeling that rotation. Inhale as you bring that arm and hand overhead, and then on your exhalation, tip off to your left. So you're getting a good stretch from your right hip all the way through those right fingertips. Trying to elongate the side of the body. Getting a good stretch to the muscles, the intercostals between your ribs. Breathing. Come back to center, turn the palm outward and release back down. And now you can hold on to the right side of the chair. Allow the left arm to float out, turn that palm up. Inhale as you sweep that left arm and hand overhead, and then on the exhalation, just tip off to your right. Try to stay in one plane so you're not leaning back or tipping forward here. Just feel that beautiful stretch. The gaze can go up if you'd like. Breathe into it. Feels so good. Bring that hand back up, turn the palm down, and come back and rest the hands briefly on the lap. And take a moment to just assess how that stretch felt for you. Adding a twist now, arms extended out and up. Nice deep inhalation, elongate the spine, lift up. And then on your exhalation, turn to your right. Left hand taking the outside of your right thigh, your right arm goes out behind you, and then your gaze follows. Again, this movement can help us back out of parking spots, back out of our garage, look behind us in any fashion. And then come back to center, releasing briefly. Floating the arms out, again, inhale and elongate. Exhale, rotate now to your left. Right hand taking the outside of your left thigh, and then your left arm and hand going out behind you, taking the gaze back. And then we'll come back to center. And then we'll do the seated cat-cow movement, a good way to move the spine here. So the hands are placed on the thighs. We're going to really use those when we move into the cat portion of this posture. For cow, we're going to press forward. We inhale forward, taking the heart center forward. And then as you exhale, start rounding the head down towards your legs, press into your thighs, and round your back like a cat. The chin comes in fairly close to the chest, and then we come upright. Again, inhale forward. Exhale back and come upright. Again, inhale forward, round into cat and come upright, and then one more. And we're upright. If you have cats or dogs at home, you are constantly watching how flexible they are, how they instinctively stretch and move their bodies. So a good thing for us to be doing as well. Today we'll do a forward fold seated on the chair, and I'm going to just demonstrate using the block. Remember, the block is a wonderful prop. It can be high, it can be a bit lower, or it can go all the way flat to the floor. That's where I'll leave mine today. So for this wide-legged forward fold, you can take the legs out just a bit. Sit tall. You're going to bend at the hip crease and come forward and down. And then see if you can just extend your fingertips down. Maybe you're up here, maybe you're here. Just hang out where it feels really comfortable for you. And then over time, perhaps you can get all the way down and release the head down as well. And that will give you a really, really nice stretch, especially to the low back area. And then you can come back up on fingertips and lift through the heart center and bring yourself back up. Again, remember, if you do have issues with your eyes, which I always caution on, where you don't want extra pressure in the eyes, you're better keeping the torso, upper torso parallel to the floor than releasing the head all the way down. So let's come up to standing. Again, stay seated if you need to, and we'll do a little bit of work while we're standing. If you feel a little bit wobbly, you can always have the chair in front of you, resting your hands on that chair as necessary. I'm going to take mine off the mat for just a moment here. Again, use the chair if necessary. We stand tall in mountain. Remember, throughout our day, we're going to sit tall, stand tall, and walk tall. Again, the feet are making the connection with the earth beneath us. The legs are nice and strong. Just a very slight tuck to the tailbone. You need to keep that curve in the low back area. And then really extend once again through the sternum and through the crown of the head. Releasing the shoulders back and down. Just allow the arms to be relaxed at the sides of the body. And then you can take your gaze out where the horizon would be, or just slightly above where the horizon would be, and stand tall, steady, and strong in mountain. Visualize a beautiful mountain. From mountain, we'll go into Prana Arch, which is just a gentle opening. Arms go back a little bit farther, so the heart center opens up a little bit more. Just take a breath or two here. With this openness, the heart and the lungs can really function beautifully. And then we'll press the hips forward just a bit more, take the arms overhead, do hands to heaven, a long spine here. And then we'll come upright. We're going to do Crescent Moon in a few different fashion today. So interlace your fingers and turn your palms up. Now, take a nice inhalation here, and then on the exhalation, tip off to your left. And then you can come back to center. Now take the fingertips up and do that same movement and see if you can feel a difference. And come back. Then recross your fingers, turn your palms up. Now we'll go to the right side. Palms facing the ceiling. This could be considered a temple movement, the hands being the roof of that temple. Feel that good stretch. Come back. Now take the fingers up, release your index fingers, and do that movement again. See if you can tell a subtle difference. And then come back. We're going to release and take the hands out in front of us, doing the chair posture once again. Good inhalation here. On the exhalation, take your buttocks back and down and sit on the chair that's not there. Again, hands can come to your shoulders. You could stack your forearms if you'd like. You can even take your hands to your thighs if the extension of the arms is too much, if it causes discomfort. And then we're going to press on up and release. Let's go into the monkey pose. Torso parallel to the floor now. Press your sit bones back. Again, stay here with any of those issues with your eyes or if you're congested or dizzy today. If not, round forward into your forward fold. Again, the block can be nicely used. You could do this to a chair seat if you needed. So the different heights of the block. We shift the weight forward just a bit, releasing the head down. And then we're going to take the hands to the shins, come up a bit, slowly come up after being inverted, and then take another sun breath here. Very good. And then we'll go back to the chair and do our back strengthening work next. Again, use chair posture, arms out, arms in front, and slowly bring yourself down. And again, releasing to the chair. Sitting tall, we'll move into the Cobra. We'll make this a forward bend. We'll float the arms out, we bend. Again, elongate your spine, inhale, bend at the hip crease, come forward and down. Again, using the arms in this position to strengthen the upper and the middle back. We're going to breathe deeply. Remember, you have the option of inhaling up and exhaling down, just pulsing a little bit. And that just helps us to really understand how the breath works in the body. You can do that or stay stationary here. But do keep breathing. Breathing is a little bit compromised when we're doing forward bending. And then inhale yourself back up, release the hands back to the lap, and take just a moment here. Moving into locust now, extending the fingertips downward, turning the palms forward. Again, inhale and elongate. On your exhalation, come forward and down, reaching the fingertips way back, reaching out through the sternum, taking the gaze out on the floor in front of you. And then lift yourself back up. Release the hands back to the lap. Going into the goddess pose, this can be done standing as well. We'll take those legs out to the side, press the feet firmly into the floor, then you get a slight contraction in those legs. You can rock side to side to feel your sit bones and back to feel the tailbone. That's your nice base for the goddess pose. Shoulders are back and down. We extend the arms out and we bend. Fingers, crown of the head extending up, feet grounding us. Grab those imaginary weights, press up and pull down. Just do these movements a few times here today. You can do many more at home. As many as you feel safe and comfortable doing. Elbows come in and out. Try to keep the upper arms somewhat parallel to the floor. And then draw your legs back together. Do a few hammers. A few curls. Very good. And then we'll work the lower body. Taking the right leg and the right foot out in front of us, pressing out through the heel, trying to spread your toes wide. Remember, wide spread toes can help with our balance. Another good thing, the chair posture and just these leg lifts, really hugely important for keeping the legs nice and strong. The connective tissue in the joints can wear out a bit as we age. Not be as strong as they used to be. So we need the muscles surrounding that knee capsule to be strong. Also really important to drink lots of water, as connective tissue doesn't really have its own blood supply, so it needs to get it from surrounding tissues. So again, especially in this warm weather, stay well hydrated. Left leg is out in front of us now. Just feel how strong those thigh muscles are. Take that foot down. Now we work the ankles. We're going to point and flex and do rotations in both directions. If you're watching TV, do a little multitasking and work the ankles a little bit. Bring that foot down. Take the left one up. Point, flex. Circles in both directions. And then come back down. And then make sure you're nicely seated on the chair, safely on the chair. Take both legs out. And then soften the tops of the feet, turn the instep upward, and then as much as possible down towards the floor. That's a little bit harder to do. Simple movements to keep the ankles and the feet nice and strong. And then we'll move into wind relieving posture. We have the ascending colon on the right side. We have the transverse colon and then the descending colon a little bit more to the outside on this part of the body. What we're trying to do with wind reliever is get that leg up and get some compression on the colon on both sides here. Again, yoga is the journey, so if you're new to yoga or if you have some limitations, perhaps that leg will only go up part way. That's fine, just do what you can. With any knee issues, take the back of the thigh, otherwise take your shin and bring that leg in as close as you can. Again, you could do a gentle massage of that area while you're still in bed in the morning. Just do kind of a circular pattern going up the right side, underneath the ribs and down and then around. And that's very nice to get increased blood flow to the colon. And then we're just going to take that leg out to the side. Again, opening the hip up. We come back to center. We hold the back of the thigh, we kick out, trying to get blood flow all the way down to those toe tips. And then the circular patterns, which can help to strengthen the sides of the knee a little bit. Kicking out again, extending out and down, and taking the fingertips and massaging the right knee. Move all around it, the sides, the back. This should feel pretty good. And then on top of the knee. You can also take a little more time and go down the entire leg. That might feel good to you as well. Bringing that leg back into alignment. Now we take the left one up and in. And then we'll take that leg off to the side. We bring it back to center. We hold the back of the left leg. We kick out. We do the circles. We come back to center. We kick out again. And then extend out and down and massage. Should be pretty healthful for the knees. We're not placing any weight on the knee when we're doing those movements. And then we'll bring that leg back into alignment. And today we're going to do a different sun salutation. We're going to add a few more movements to it. Anytime you link yoga postures together, you have more of a flowing movement, and that's called a vinyasa. So sun salutations are considered a vinyasa. So what we're going to do is just take the hands to the heart center. We're going to extend up into Hastasana, strong core as we forward fold, and then we bring ourselves up. And then you're going to kick out with your right leg, kick out with your left leg. Bring the right leg up, hold the back of the thigh or your shin, and do a back bend. Come upright, release that leg. Take the left one up, do a back bend. And release. You can kick out right, kick out left, kick out with both, come back down. Now we'll do a version of the cat. We'll draw the right leg up, do your slight back bend. Now with a long spine, round your head toward that right knee. And then come upright, release that leg, draw the left one up, slight back bend, round forward, come upright, and release. Kick out right, kick out left, arms out to the side, inhale up, exhale down, come back up, and back to Namaste. So just adding a little bit more movement, a little more fluidity to the postures there. We'll come up to standing to do the balance work. Remember, you can stay seated and mimic as much as you can from the chair seat. So just a few standing postures and balance work here today. We'll take the chair in front of us. And we just do our toe raises here, calf raises, whatever you would like to call them, but you're standing in mountain and the toes are tracking ahead, and you can rock forward and back on those feet. Again, even a finger or two on the chair back will help you stay stable. Both hands if you need. But work those ankles nicely. And then see if you can come up and just rest on those toe tips for a second or two. You don't have to do it too long. And then just splay your feet out to the side, more like you're doing a plie. Beautiful, simple ways to strengthen the feet and the ankles. And then you can step the feet together and do that again. And then I'm going to step off to the right side of the chair and do a bit of balance work here. In the chair class, we usually do crane and then warrior three, and then sometimes another posture as well. So your hand can be on the chair back. We'll stand on the left foot. Make sure it's nicely grounded. Try to find a focal point on the floor or the wall across from you. And then just remember that medications, caffeine, congestion, lots of different things can affect your balance. So no judgment. Balance has always been a little bit more of a challenge for me. So just do your best, and it will make a difference. We're going to stand well grounded with a strong left leg. We can take the wings out. Again, have one hand on the chair if you need. Strong standing legs. See if you can bring that right leg up off the floor. And you can release. Again, if you fall out of the posture, try to reestablish your base and move back into it. Holding on to the chair now for warrior three, we're going to bend at the left hip crease. And you can take that right leg out behind you. Try to get the upper torso parallel to the floor. And over time, see if you can release your hand from the chair. If you're feeling wobbly, please hold on to that chair. Again, you can reestablish your base and go back in. Okay, let's go to the other side. Now standing well grounded on our right foot, taking the wings out, bringing those left toes up. Remember, the base is just to keep your toes on the floor or on your mat. And release. Warrior three on this side, standing on the right leg, bending at the hip crease, taking the left leg out behind us. And come back up. Moving behind the chair, we're going to do downward facing dog. Hands can be on the chair back, and we're going to walk back until our arms fully extend. Then the bend comes from the hip crease again as we bring the head down between the elbows here. Press your sit bones back. Get a good stretch. This is a good stretch to do first thing in the morning and last thing at night. Really get those legs nicely stretched out. Can help with restless leg syndrome if you have that. Stretching is so important. Coming back up. Now we'll see if we can go just a little bit lower, and we'll do that just by turning the chair around. And instead of going to the chair back, we'll go to the chair seat. So it's just getting us a little bit closer to the floor. So you can take your hands to the front corners of that chair seat and then walk your feet back as far as you can. Bend at your hip crease and bring your head down between your elbows again. So just getting a little bit closer to the floor here. And then carefully come up slowly, walking in towards the chair. Again, bring yourself up slowly. And take a nice sun breath here. And then we'll do a wide-angled forward fold to the chair seat, and then we'll add a twist to it as well. Again, if you were seated, you could have the block in front of you, go into that forward fold, and then twist to either side. So take as broad a stance as you can comfortably take, but make sure it's stable. It doesn't have to be as broad as mine. We're going to bend at the hip crease. Our shoulders should be pretty much right over the front corners of that chair. Now you can stay in this position, Or you can stack your forearms on the chair and then bring your head down to rest on those stacked forearms. And here's a good place, once again, to really press back through your sit bones. Take a few nice deep breaths here. And then take your hands to the corners of the chair. We're going to add a twist. Your left hand can come in a couple inches from the edge of the chair seat. Try to have it pretty much aligned underneath your shoulder. You're going to inhale as you twist up to your right, taking the gaze up. On the exhalation, come back to center. Now take the right hand in just a bit. Inhale, twisting off to the left. Exhale back. Again, off to your right. And back to center, off to your left, back to center, one more time to your right, coming back, and one more time to your left, and back to center. And then just heels and toes yourself back to center, bend those knees, come up slowly, take a nice sun breath here. And then let's move into just a few standing postures here. Again, the chair can stay in front of you if you need. Let's go into Warrior 2 and Reverse Warrior again. So a broad base here. Your feet are parallel as you begin. Again, a slight tuck to the tailbone. You can pull up on the pelvic floor and then float those arms out. You're going to turn your left toes in, pivot on that heel. Your right foot turns away completely, and now the gaze is out over your right fingertips. You're going to take a nice inhalation here. On the exhalation, softly bend that forward leg. Over time, you'd like to try to get the inner thigh more or less parallel to the floor. Again, remember the journey. It doesn't have to happen today. Important to keep your knee tracking more towards your second and third toe. Remember, the yogic warrior is a peacekeeper, strong, confident, resilient, able to meet life's challenges. And then just a bit of reverse warrior, turning your right palm up, windmill that arm and hand overhead with the left arm and hand going down alongside the body. Remember, one hand can stay on the chair back if you need. Use that chair as a wonderful prop. Coming back into Warrior 2, pressing the forward leg straight, turning the feet parallel, and just taking that moment for inner awareness. How did that feel? How do you feel? Floating the arms out. Now the right toes turn in, the left foot turns away completely. The gaze is now over your left fingertips. Nice deep inhalation here. On the exhale, softly bend that forward leg. Coming into Proud Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2, the name of an ancient warrior. Turning the left palm up, windmill that arm and hand overhead, right arm and hand along the back side of the body or on the chair back. Feel strong, feel confident. Come back into Warrior 2, press up, turn your feet parallel, and again, step the feet together. And take a nice sun breath here. And then we'll do a forward triangle bend to the chair seat. So again, we'll turn the chair around with the seat facing us. Your right toes can be tucked under the chair seat. Take your hands to your hips and step that left foot back a bit. Doesn't have to be a huge stance. And again, Keep the base nice and stable. If you need to, you can move either foot out to the side a little bit if you're feeling a little bit wobbly here today. Hands can stay at the hips, or you can hold on to your forearms or your elbows behind the back. On an inhalation, your slight back bend. On the exhalation, come forward and down. Start bending at that right hip crease. Now here, if you'd like, you can release your hands to that chair seat. And then if you'd like, you can bring the forearms to the chair seat, stacking them, and then releasing the head as we did earlier. So now the feet are just in a different position than we were previously. We're getting a really good stretch to the back, especially of that forward leg. And then the hands can come back to the chair. You're going to look over the chair back. You'll step that right foot back to meet the left, and then you can walk in and come on up and take a nice sun breath here. And then the other side. So the hands can come behind the body or stay at the hips. The left toes are slightly tucked under the chair seat. The right foot steps back here. Again, make sure your base is stable and comfortable. Square yourself forward. Nice deep inhalation here. And then on the exhalation, come forward and down. You can stay parallel to the floor if you'd like, or you can round down a little bit more. Stacking forearms, bringing the head down. And then take the hands to the corners of the chair, press up. You can step the feet together and then come up and take another sun breath. And then we're coming towards the close of class. So we'll do one more twist here, floating the arms out, stacking forearms now in front of us. Inhaling, we take the gaze and the right elbow back. On the exhalation, come back to center. Inhale to the left. Exhale back. Again, off to your right. Come back to center. Off to your left. Come back to center. One more time to your right. And come back. And one more to the left. And come back and release. Moving into push, pull, and gathering stars from Tai Chi and Qigong. Hands back by the shoulders for push, pull. Take your nourishing in-breath here. On the exhalation, press away and send any toxins that might have built up in the body to the far reaches of the universe. Turn your palms towards you. Draw in nourishment on the in-breath. Exhale to cleanse. Inhale to nourish. Exhale. Last one, inhale to nourish. Exhale now, pressing any excess energy downward towards the earth. Turn your palms forward. Inhale up. Gather restorative energy from the stars, from the moon, and bring that home to the core of the body. 2 more times. Beautiful. And then we'll return to the chair seat today for the guided relaxation. I'll be doing a meditation called Ocean Wave Relaxation, and it's from a CD or a DVD by a woman called Lakshmi Volker. So we come into the seated mountain pose now, resting the hands on the thighs, sitting tall in the chair, and then closing the eyes and just focusing on some nice deep breathing. Again, honoring ourselves for our practice here today. Breathe in and breathe out and release any last bits of tension or tightness in the jaw, in the neck, and your shoulders. Soften all the tissues of the face, the forehead, and the scalp. Breathe in and breathe out. And feel that the arms and the legs are totally released and relaxed. Breathe in and breathe out. Imagine yourself on a warm, sunny beach. As the waves wash up, the breath comes in. As the waves roll down, the breath goes out. Breathing in, breathing out. We let go of yesterday, we forget about tomorrow, and we come into this present moment. Breathe in, breathe out. Hear the sound of the waves, hear the songs of the birds, and feel the warmth of the sun. Relax deeper and deeper and deeper down. The body is deeply relaxed. The mind is deeply relaxed. Waves wash up over the body one more time, and as they roll away, they release any last bits of tension, anxiety, any tightness. Inhale, exhale. Come into a healing white light. Breathe in, breathe out. Stay in this quiet, beautiful place now for just a minute or so. Again, breathing in, breathing out. Remember, if you'd like, at home you can stay in this period of relaxation, Shavasana, a bit longer. I'm going to bring my awareness back to the room now, to this place and time, this beautiful summer morning. I'll open my eyes, but I'll keep my focus inward. I draw my hands together at the heart center. If you choose, you can connect your thumbs with the heart center and bow the head. The goodness and the light that resides within me sees, acknowledges, and honors the goodness and the light that resides within you. And then our soul-to-soul greeting and parting, Namaste. Have a good day, stay safe, be well, and I hope to see you again soon. Again, Namaste.